Yeah, the National Hockey League. You're up there near the Canadian border, so I'm sure everyone's talking hockey up there. Let's put this one up on the board.
Yeah, you're going to love this one. So I'm marching through the airports, catching all these flights to get up here, to go to the St. Lawrence Seaway and then to my cottage. And I'm wearing my Edmonton Oilers hoodie. You cannot believe how many people stopped me and offered condolences to the Edmonton Oilers because I was wearing my Oilers hoodie. And of course, up here, hockey is the second biggest religion outside of Catholicism. And it's absolutely phenomenal how many hockey fans pay attention to all the storylines in the NHL, and they all felt really bad for me on behalf of what happened to the Edmonton Oilers. All right, let's just talk hot topics on the table. We've talked about this. It's finally happened. Free John Gibson. You can take the bumper sticker off your car. The Ducks traded the 36-year-old veteran goaltender. He goes to the Detroit Red Wings. In essence, what I guess is a salary dump, although what they're doing doesn't make a lot of sense. But they traded John Gibson to Detroit for veteran goaltender Petr Mrazek. Those two guys' statistics are almost about the even Steven, almost about the same. However, Gibson was making $6.5 million. Mrazek is making $4.2 million. They then turned around and re-signed young goaltender that they got middle of last season from Detroit, Ville Husso, who was down with the San Diego Gulls. They signed him to a 2-year contract. So all they're doing is exchanging dollar bills. They didn't get really beneath salary cap issues because they exported Gibson's contract, but they imported almost $6.7 million in contracts in goals. So I was a little bit surprised there. Edmonton. Boy, I tell you what, for every person you talk to, half the people don't like this deal in Vancouver. We're talking about the Edmonton Oilers trading the controversial Evander Kane, his big wide body checking ability, his slap shot, and all the baggage that he carries. And he went to the Vancouver Canucks in a trade last week. Vancouver fans are not real happy with that story. A lot of stuff involving the LA Kings. They moved another defenseman off the roster. This is a bit of a surprise, although it didn't fit, I guess. They traded Jordan Spence. He goes to the Ottawa Senators for a 3rd and 6th round draft pick. On top of that, the Kings are trying to create cap space. Guess who they're going to go after? Former Duck, former Edmonton Oiler guy, Corey Perry. They think he would be a difference maker with all the other goal scorers that the LA Kings have on the front end of their roster, lines 1 and 2. Perry, of course, just coming off what was a phenomenal Stanley Cup playoff series with the Edmonton Oilers. So that's one of the rumors out there, that they're looking to make that deal for the LA Kings to add more players there. New York Islanders, Montreal Canadiens. This is a mega trade. The Islanders, who had the number 1 pick in the draft, traded Noah Dobson, really good young defenseman. He goes to Montreal for 2 first-round draft picks this past week in the NHL draft. Montreal is really building some things with a lot of young players. And then we get to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Tomorrow, NHL free agency opens. And there are rumors out there, Toronto has given up on Mitch Marner. Never won bleep with him, scored his 221 career goals, etc. We're not going to pay him $14 million. Toronto is talking about a sign and trade with Las Vegas that would give them the right to sign Marner and would bring 1 or 2 younger players to Toronto in a trade rather than have Marner hit the free agent window at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. So if you're a hockey fan, keep an eye, see if this deal happens this evening or overnight or first thing before the free agent window opens there. Las Vegas is obviously trying to make a transaction there with Las Vegas. Speaking of the draft, I want to throw this out to you, John. I don't know if you had the chance to see the NHL draft on Friday, the first round. I'm always kind of snazzy. When the Columbus Blue Jackets pick came up in the middle of the first round and they had some special people come out and actually make the honorary pick, Gary Bettman, the commissioner, turned to look at the curtain and said, and now here to announce the Columbus Blue Jackets pick is the widow of Johnny Hockey, Johnny Gaudreau, who of course died tragically in that hit-and-run drunk driving incident that killed he and his brother. His wife, widowed with 3 young kids, she came out and made the pick, and they would not let her, Meredith Gaudreau, make the pick. Standing ovation went on for 3 full minutes. It was a tearjerker, and it moved the earth. It was so neat what the NHL did on behalf of Johnny Gaudreau. Free agency opens tomorrow. Marner's name is out there. Brock Besser, the former 40-goal scorer, the Vancouver Canucks, he is out there. There's just a wide variety of guys. We're still waiting to see what transpires down in Florida. Brad Marchand is still unsigned, although the Florida Panthers did sign their Stanley Cup star, Sam Bennett, to an 8-year, $64+ million contract extension. We're waiting to see what happens with Marchand. So, tell you what, 24 hours from today, there's going to be a lot of signings in the National Hockey League. So, John, that's what's going on in pro hockey. Step up there, make a slap shot, see if we can put it on goal.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in hockey, but I'm just thinking about where you're located, because you're like in the very northern part of New York, and I would think you're almost surrounded there by 7 or 8 NHL franchises. I mean, what's the hometown for people in your area? Who do they root for there?
Awful lot of unbearable Buffalo Sabres fans here in and around all these cottages. A lot of Buffalo people that spend some of the summer here on the lakes. But there are Toronto fans, there are Ottawa fans, I've seen some of the enemy wearing Montreal Canadiens jerseys. I mean, go to the Syracuse airport. It's a hell of a lot of people wearing hockey jerseys in the middle of the summer. So yeah, this is big time hockey. But they're big time Yankee fans here. And there are some people really pissed off about the New York Mets right now. And obviously there's some NBA fans, but hockey is really huge up here in upstate New York. And of course, Canada is 50 miles to the north.
Yeah, so you could drive right now, like to Montreal or Toronto. How far away is that?
Montreal is probably good 50. Toronto is west of here, way west of here, west of Buffalo. That's a bit of a road trip.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it is near Buffalo.
And by the way, when you get on the 1,000-mile or 1,000-island bridge to go to Canada from up here where I am, make sure you bring your passport, because the RCMP will turn your car around and will not let you into the country if you don't have your passport. We learned that.
Are they building a wall up there?
No, not building a wall, but the rules are the rules according to them.
There you go.
So that's all things NHL hockey. John